Hello, my name is Jordan Jinsko. I am an assistive technology specialist with 4J. My colleague, Kelly Moriarty, and I are so pleased to have this opportunity to present this material to you all. These slides are intended to give you a little more perspective on how student accessibility fits into educational technology and materials. As we all undertake the process of implementing Learning for All, we want to share the work we have done to build our capacity together as a district to see the process through. Together, we are going to make this happen. In this slide, you all will gain the perspective offered by one student as he shares his experiences having reading challenges and the role accessible technology and materials have played in his school performance.
Many kids struggle with dyslexia. It's different for everyone, but it can look something like this: letters getting jumbled up on the page.
Or even entire words can jump around, making it difficult to learn.
41 Action News anchor Richard Sharp shows us how common technology is now changing literacy for children with dyslexia.
Reading, writing, spelling. They can be the gateway to great power. But if you can't go through the gate, it can keep you from learning.
Mrs. Walker, it could reach speeds.
Max Kamel is 11 years old. He struggles to read almost every word. He's a smart kid, but severe dyslexia holds him back.
It's like I'm seeing it, but I'm just not seeing it right.
It's been hard. It's been really hard.
But now, things are changing.
This year he tested above average.
Max uses talk-to-text to write essays and audiobooks to help him learn material.
At school, I have a Chromebook. It will read it to me, like if we have to read a book.
Common technology is being used more heavily to help dyslexic learners go around the gatekeeper of reading, writing, and spelling, allowing them to unlock their true intelligence.
Go to our digital branch.
Even the public library has a specialized font for ebooks,
And you can see everything changes.
that can help some dyslexics read more easily.
One of the best resources that we have are through our streaming services, our ebooks, our audiobooks.
Dear Amy, by Helen Callahan.
In fact, in 2017, the library had more people sign up for streaming services than 2016. More than 6,000 people. These are building blocks of a different kind. Rachel Levick uses these simple techniques to help dyslexic learners identify what's tripping them up, their minds or their mouths. She says one of the biggest changes for dyslexics is a stereotype.
Where I've really seen a change has been in the amount of awareness in the public, how willing people are to try and find solutions.
Running, walk.
It's a big difference. Children are not letting dyslexia define them anymore.
His self-esteem has gotten so much better.
I'll just open up more about it.
I'm Richard Sharp, 41 Action News.
Oh, that's so great. If you think your child has dyslexia, check with your school district about available resources that could help.
In order for all students to have equal access to their education, they need accessible educational materials, or AIM, accessible formats, accessible technology, and in some cases, assistive technology. In practice, the line between what is accessible and assistive technology, or AT, can become blurred, especially as more AT is included as built-in accessibility features on the consumer devices many learners and families already own. In our district, all students have access to either an iPad or laptop throughout the school day. The next slide will explain what this means for staff and students.
These definitions can help to clarify the blurring lines between the terminology. Learner variability, which we will unpack a little in the next slide, is the guiding principle. When educational materials and technologies are deployed with learner variability in mind, they are universally designed and permit the greatest student learning potential. As AT specialists, we can help support your efforts toward building accessibility in your learning design. We can also address the needs of students with more complex access barriers that may require additional assistive technology beyond the accessible technology materials available to all students.
By reframing our approach to providing accessibility, we will support learning for all. In this short video from the National Center on UDL, they talk about how the Universal Design for Learning emphasis is now focused on student variability rather than disability.
One of the changes in version 2.0 is a greater emphasis on variability rather than disability. Both the field of disability studies and our understanding of cognitive science have suggested that a much better use of a word would be variability. It's not specifically about disability, although it includes that, but it's about how do we respond as an educational system to the variability in the students that we teach. Learners of all ages, of all nationalities, of all types are highly variable. Whether they're disabled or not depends on their interaction with the context. So variability needs to be emphasized, not disability.
Universal Design for Learning, or UDL, was embedded into federal legislation, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, back in 2004, almost 20 years ago. Since that time, technology and society have changed dramatically. On a technological level, in the year 2022, we have the capacity to implement this at a scale that was not possible when the legislation was passed. By using the guiding question, can all of my students, with their variabilities, acquire the same information, engage in the same interactions, and enjoy the same services? Educators can shape their learning design to be accessible for all students.
Several laws govern the use of accessible educational materials, or AIM. IDEA focuses on accessible formats of print materials. Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act and the ADA both prohibit discrimination on the basis of disability and speak to the obligation of public schools to provide AIM to students who need them. In the following slides, you will learn how to create and provide these materials to your students, as well as the technologies that students will use to access them.
One crucial aspect of creating accessible educational materials relates to how materials that are sourced from paper formats are scanned into a digitized format that is accessible with text-to-speech. The document you see in this slide was created by screenshotting content on the web. The text cannot be read aloud with built-in text-to-speech features on a device. It is essentially a photograph. Many staff have paper materials that are scanned or photographed and then uploaded into student learning management systems such as Canvas, Seesaw, and Google Classroom. For these materials to be accessible with text-to-speech, the scanning or photographing must include optical character recognition, OCR. The technology needed to OCR scan materials is available in every 4J school. The networked school copier scanners can do this, and it only requires 2 additional taps on the touchscreen. Watch the video in the slide to see how this works.
This is a sample accommodation page on an IEP. The yellow arrows point to accommodations that can be made available to all students on their school-issued devices. Examples are text-to-speech, dictation, word prediction, and access to digitized text. One of the accommodations listed is for a student to use headphones. This should be permitted and encouraged so that students who need text in audio format will be able to do so discreetly without distracting others. Take a look at the resources on the following slides to see how MacBooks and iPads can be set up with these accommodations and how they can be used. You will also find links to our 4J Assistive Technology blog on the slides. The blog provides more information about scanning and digitizing materials on networked copier scanners, other built-in tools, features and apps on Macs and iPads, audiobook options, and much more.